Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to Angular reactive form, where we will be mainly discussing about few things or few scenarios which will tell us when to use form record and when not to use the form record. Okay, but before we proceed further with the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to understand the meaning of how to understand the scenarios where we can utilize form record and where we are not supposed to utilize form record. Okay, and for the detail, but prior to that you should know about the basic stuff, like what exactly the form record is, the key characteristics, advantages, disadvantages, use cases. So if you know about all these things, then it would be very easy for you to understand today's session. Okay, so fine. And for referring the session, like you can also refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3000 plus free resources, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can consume the content, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to me through comment section. Okay, alright, so let's get started. Here you can see I have noted down few notes for you, which will help you to answer your questions in interviews and exams as well. So firstly, I have noted down the heading that shows Angular course by Sharmit. Then we have second heading, reactive forms in Angular, introduction to form control, form record part 4. And remember one thing, this is just a last theoretical session for this series. After that we are going to see each and everything practically with example. Okay, alright, so let's get started. Firstly, we will identify when to use form record. Okay, so we will just try to identify what are the situations or scenarios where we are supposed to use the form record. So first thing is when control names are dynamic. So if there is a scenario where you want to implement the dynamic forms, okay, you want to use the controls names when you are sure that your control names are dynamic in nature, you are not known of the control names and it is not predefined, then in that case we can utilize form record. Second thing is keys come from API responses. Yes, there are some projects where like you will see that keys are fetched from API responses. Okay, so in that case we are not sure like what API will respond, what kind of fields will it respond. So in that case we are not aware of it, we are not keys are not predefined. So in that case we will utilize the form record. Okay, the next thing is form structure is key value based. Yes, so whenever there is a form structure, key value based form structure, then in that case we will utilize the form record. Okay, so that is also a important thing. Now next thing is why we are talking about key value, because we know that form record is mainly used the structure of key value pair. So in that case when you are sure that yes you want to include the key value pair, then in that case you will use it. Okay, fine. And now the next thing is regarding the scenarios where we are not supposed to use it. Okay, so let's see what all scenarios are there where we are not supposed to use the form record. So to explain this, here I have noted down few points, like form fields are fixed, use form group. So when we are sure that yes form fields are going to be fixed, then in that case we will try to avoid using form record. Why? Because in that case form record is not needed. You can simply use the form group, and form group will help you to process the things in a better way, because there we are not dealing with the dynamic field, so it is not required to include the form field. Okay, next thing is data is an ordered list, use FormArray. So when the data is an ordered list, okay, when you are sure that yes, your data is an ordered list, so for that we have particular thing, that is FormArray, right? So if data is an ordered list, so avoid using this. Instead of this, you can utilize FormArray. Okay, so FormRecord is not needed here again. Alright, now the next thing is form structure is static. So as I mentioned, like if your form structure is static, when you are sure that your form structure is static, then in that case also it is not needed. So you can simply use the form structure in a if it is a static, then in that case you can avoid using the FormRecord. Okay, so mainly we have three reasons when we are not supposed to use FormRecord. The first thing is when the form fields are fixed. Okay, so when your form fields are fixed, then in that case you are not supposed to use the FormRecord. Okay, and second thing is when data is in ordered list. So again, as we will not use FormRecord in case of form field when form field are fixed, because we have FormGroup for that. Similarly, when the data is in ordered list, we have FormArray, so there also we are not supposed to use it. Okay, instead of that we will use the FormArray. Next important thing is key concepts, because now we know when to use, when not to use. So how we will remember, because so far like we have covered so many theoretical thing, right? And there is so plenty of thing that we need to keep we need to remind ourselves, right? And you are preparing for interviews or job or exams, so in that case how you will keep everything identified. So just I'm sharing you few concepts that will help you to remind these things in a later go as well. So just keep a short note and it will help you to remind, because now you know the theoretical things in a deep way, right? So you just need a cheat sheet which will help you to remind all these concepts. So first thing is, just keep in mind that FormGroup is used for fixed object structure, whereas FormArray is used for index list structure. Next we have FormRecord. FormRecord is mainly used for dynamic object structure. So we have three things. One is for fixed object structure, another one is for index list structure, and the next one is for dynamic order structure. And remember, sometime in interviews they might ask you the direct question, like they will simply provide you few options and you are supposed to accept the thing, select the thing, right? Like they will ask you when to use index list structure and they will provide you all the options. So in that case you should know like when to use what. If you know when to use FormGroup, it is only used when fixed object structure is there. When to use FormArray, when index list structure is there. When to use dynamic object structure, when FormRecord FormArray is for index list structure and FormRecord is for dynamic object structure. So these are the all main scenario that we are supposed to follow. Okay, so yeah, I think these are all things are clear to all of you. And then now like I would suggest you, as like today we are concluding all the theoretical point theoretical sessions related to FormRecord. In upcoming session we will talk mainly about we will talk about the practical scenarios. We will see like how practical things works, whatever we have learned as a theoretical. Now we will perform a operation, like now we will perform some examples of each operation to identify like how it is actually used in coding way. Okay, so meanwhile like you can recall these all things, and if you have any questions, queries or suggestion related to this, then you can simply reach out to me through comment sections. I would be more than happy to answer all your question, and if there is any particular feedback or suggestions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer that as well. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.